think today we're gonna just go through some of the things that would be useful. Maybe today we're gonna cover aliases on the terminal. So I think that would be worthwhile. So yeah, so let's get started. So let's open a terminal. I like using this one. So this is Terminator. You can use Terminator to have as your terminal. So all right. So how do we get to aliases? So the aliases are usually in so if you're using bash, it will be in the bash rc file. If you're using ZSH, and then it will be the ZSH rc file. So you can basically look for it in terms of the dot files that you might have. So we're just gonna look for it. So we're looking. So for me, I'm looking for a .zsh file. Okay, so here you have the ZSH file. I think it's in. So I can't remember where that is, but let's see if we can grip this thing. Let me just increase this. Let's sort of clear this just to fix all this. Let's see if it's. I don't remember where that file is because I don't usually use it a lot. Grip.zsh. Okay, no, so it's not in here. Maybe dot profile. Okay, let me just look for this thing. CD2 dot profile. No, and this capsule. CD2 dot profile. Oops. Profile. Okay. Okay, ZSH. We are not having any good luck here. Okay, so let's just grep for all these files. I have some sort of docs grep. So dot okay. Just like that. Okay, nothing there. Anyways, so look at what this is. I don't remember where this bash received. Where is the ZSH? So this ZSH file it's in this directory. I mean, I should see it because this is the directory that has this file. I'm not sure why it is not showing up. So that's a .zoom file. Let's just see if we look at ZSHRC. Alright. Okay. So look at where we are. So we are in the right directory. So that is the file there right there. And here. This is what we are looking for. So if we do a nano, let's say it is HRC. Yeah, so this is the ZSHRC file. So this is my one. So let's exit out of that. And so basically, if I wanted to open that file, I would do like Sublime because I use Sublime a lot. And then I'll do a ZSH file. And then this will open ZSH RC file inside Sublime. But I've already created an alias. So an alias is like a command that substitutes the actual command that you want to have. So for example, I have already an alias that I want to use to edit the ZSH. So it's called edit shell. Yeah, so edit shell RC. So basically, instead of typing Sublime and then .zsh, I just type that to edit it. So you see, it's now open. So this is the ZSH file. So basically, yeah, we'll just go through it. So I also use pk10. So I'm setting these variables here. So if you want to modify your shell, some conditions of your shell, you can actually use the RC files for the shell. So I'm using ZSH as my shell. If you are using the default of Bash for Ubuntu, then it will be .bash rc. But they're all similar, almost the same. You just define your aliases. So I'm loading these into my shell because every time you open the shell, you actually are loading this RC file. So what I mean about that, if I go terminal, so you see it's loading this stuff here. So it's loading this file while every time you open your terminal. And so as you can see, I have this prompt here. Okay, so I have this prompt here. So this is the prompt that's actually here. So it's loading all that stuff up here. Then it's gonna load this prompt, which is the one here. So RC file is like where you have things that you want to customize your shell with and stuff like that. So as you can see, I have a few aliases commands for directory listing. So I don't actually use the native alias. So even though alias is here, so for example, let me just bring this in here just so that we can just go through the alias. Maybe I can just use this one. Yeah, this one is more clear because it's bigger, and we move that one here so we can just go through each command and see how it works. And so let's clear the screen. So even CLS, that's not native. That's not a native command. It's actually an alias. So for example, if you do, so I use color alias. So color alias is actually a cool command because it gives you some kind of appearance in a cosmetic way. So like for example, like this one, right? So you see it has some of that stuff there. So I've changed that here. So if I just go alias, it's a shortcut. So same command, but the first one is the real command and the other one is the alias. So I just substitute that with the actual command. So I'm using exa because similar. It's got better formatting in terms of showing you the directory. So if I do like exa -la, which I can type, XLAH. So it does this. You see, it's got all this cool formatting and coloring that helps you identify. So this is basically listing it as in the listing. So if I also so I ran this command. So this is the command I ran, but if I did the shortcut, which is LL, which is 2 L's, it's the same one, same output, different way of telling the shell how to bring the output. So usually you would have you would use this on Linux most times, but in this alias I'm actually defining it as 3 L's. So up to you how you want to define your alias. So 3 L's is similar. Okay, so similar to that, same type. Reaching these coloring is like this is because of this thing up here. It's just a theming. So yeah, so here are the other ones. So if I go LT, this is for XA3. So interestingly, you can just do this. This will list, or it will just create a tree, and it will run through the terminal, pulling down everything. Hopefully the command doesn't take us forever, but yeah. I think it's just trying to register the information, but let's wait. So we can try something else while we wait for that one. So I think it's still trying to run some command. Let's clear this. Let's increase the font here. Okay, so the other commands we have is alias. So normally when you do alias, it actually runs that command here. So that's an alias, which means that show me the icons, right? So you see all the icons are shown. And then if you do ls3 or lst, I think it shows the directory zone. I'm not sure, I don't remember. Okay, maybe it's doing something is wrong here. So something is probably doing something here. So let's just cancel that. But it runs those commands. So you can do ls2. So ls2 means that you just take 2 levels. So you want to do the tree, but then 2 levels. So these ones, this one, and that one are similar, but this one has the icon. But if you do ls2, means that you define the two directories down. So you see, as you can see, it's already showing you the 2 directories. So it's listing all the directories, and then listing of the directories below it. Okay, what was that command? Okay, so that was 2. So if you do 4, similar way. Yeah, so you see, this is 4. So it's pretty cool. You can look for stuff and stuff like that. And then 6, similar. You just go down 6 directories. On the other one, so these are common directories I move into. So for example, I have I do a lot of GitHub development stuff, just for the fun of stuff. So sometimes when you open the terminal, you basically are at your home directory. So navigating to where that is, which is like development typing, you have a lot of like CD development, and then you start typing, well, why not just write an alias that gets you there, right? So CD to GitHub dev. So I'm using, because I'm using this thing up here, I can actually what do you call, autocomplete. So if a command say for example, like this is red, means that that's not a command. But if you have the full command, that means it's telling you that it's the correct command. But given that this is an alias, you actually, an alias is actually a command. So basically, you're telling it to do this one, but basically, this is the command that's gonna run. All right. So if you do this, see, I'm already in this directory. So it just jumped. It saved me a couple of times. So even like even this one, I want to go to this directory here, because maybe that's I want to move to that project directory. So I can just type the alias for the project directory, right? And then dev. Is it dev or yeah? Oh, okay, project trjkb. So that's the alias. Then it switches me, right? So I'm already in here. So yeah, so I'm already there. So if I want to go back to that directory again, that this is basically this is the main GitHub dev directory. So if I do ls, you see it's showing you. So this is the other thing about this alias command here. So it's showing you the icon. So yeah, pretty nifty. It tells you, can help you identify what kind of files they are. Sometimes in Linux, all files look the same, but then you can just identify by looking at the icons. Oh, this is a Python file. This is a shell file, because it's got that shell icon on it, like here. It's got that shell icon. And this is a markdown kind of language, markdown file, which is usually the standard files for GitHub. Yeah, and so all of this other stuff helps me move faster in these coding directories. And then some of the common directories when you're on the machine, you want to go cd home, cd desktop. So for example, I'm here in the instead of cd cd, you can just type cd home, and then you're back to the same directory. See right here, or cd desktop. I mean, it just helps you move faster, and you're only typing a few letters and stuff like that. And you see these are the files that you can see, and these are the files here. So interesting, eh? Then if you want to jump to the download, so cd download. So even here you can type something, but then you can just tab it to autocomplete, because it's going to look for the command, the alias that is similar to what you have typed, like this one. So like here, the only alias that is DOW is this one. So if you had CDDO, it would probably say, oh, there's two aliases like that, so CDDO. And if you tab it, you see it tells you which ones do you want to use. So CDDO, and then he says, okay, I want to use the W one. Okay, so yeah, so we're in here. Yeah, so you see, got all the downloads that you want to go, and then if you want to go back to home, you see cd desktop. Yeah, so and then autocomplete, because you know that desktop, there's only one alias that is cd des, and then autocomplete with this desktop. Okay, so that's a bit about that one. So all of these are you gotta remember them, but if you use it more often, you do get to remember them. So the other one is sometimes I want to check like the D message if there's a problem. So I'll just do SDG. Oops, wrong place. Okay, so if I wanted to check, because sometimes your system might have some problems and you want to check the D messages. So you just run SDG, and obviously you do need a password because it's sudo, right? And then yeah, you see, you just go through all of that. So you can think of ways that can help you if you have very complex commands. So even sudo. So sometimes if I want to run, I'm tired of writing 2 extra characters. So sudo cr dmessage, like in case like if you need to run the command. Yeah, so similar way, you just add the prefix and then you run the command that you want to run it as sudo and stuff like that. Also, I have the restart net. So the restart net actually restarts my my networking interfaces. Sometimes I have some issues with my networking and I just want to reset everything. All right. So for example here, right? So these are commands to help with the the RC editing and reloading. So as you can see, we were using this command, but it also has a similar command called EES, right? So EESS is just open sublimes and this thing. So for example, let's I'm just gonna add another line here. So because usually when editing the the shell RC files like the ZSH or bash sh RC, you need to terminate the terminal and then reload it again to load the file. So I created an alias that will just source the file from the terminal I'm using. So for example, like this in Sublime, if it's a dot up here, means that this hasn't been saved. If there's no dot, that means it's saved. If I press save, now there's no dot. So if I do this one, we can't go out. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So we do SSS, and then SSS will just tell the computer, please load this file, source this file again. So which is that one here, and then it would give us this extra line that we just made edits to. So this is just to load it. So if we have a new alias, yeah. So you see, we just loaded that. So meaning that we just reloaded the shell and then sourcing that. So we can, these are all for my shell. You can change yours. And then this is the one we were using just to open the similar command but different ways. So this is a pretty cool command. I use it a lot just for some security things. Like I have a directory that's on my system and I want to just like put it out there on the network so that I can just drag it, I can download files. So instead of like trying to memorize how to run the Python server, you can just type http dir, which means that run the Python server on the directory that you're at. So for example, if we wanted to go to GitHub, cd GitHub dev, and we wanted to host all of this on somewhere, we could maybe pivot, meaning that run that command. If it's successful, then it will run the PyHTTP command. So PyHTTP dir. Yeah, so as you can see, it's auto completed to say that is a command or an alias, I know. Yeah, and then just run it. So yeah, so it moved. It didn't show us which directory because we're now in the development directory. But if we do open up, we open up the browser. If we go here and say 00321. So what was the port is 8. Okay, so this is the port that it's listening on. When we copy that, we should see the content of that directory. Is that the right one? Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Hopefully, maybe this will. Let's kill this thing here. Maybe this might have some problems with the networking. It says it's listening on that port, so are we on the right port? Maybe let's try something else. localhost, just for the sake of testing. Localhost, see if it's listening. No, it's not listening. Okay, so interesting. Alright. Maybe we can Brave. Let's try Brave. I'm trying the Brave browser. I'm not sure. Sometimes Firefox might be gay. Anyway, let's wait for that Brave to come up. But basically, that's what it does. It just opens a file server or a server on that directory. Alright, so we have Brave. Oh, come on, Brave. Brave. Okay, Brave is coming. I just need to wait. Yeah, so while we wait for Brave to come, here are some other stuff that you can look at. Yeah, so I actually have this kind of command. So I wrote open Proton VPN or open Proton VPN shell, so that script that I can just run in the terminal. So for example, where is this Brave browser? Okay, so allow. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's just open Brave here. 10.22221.8. Okay, you see, like I said, and you can monitor. So it's interesting, so that you can monitor. Somehow Firefox is a bit gay, but yeah. So as you can see, I'll just split this so that we can. So Terminator helps. Terminator can actually help you split things, like have multiple terminals in one session. So as you can see, yeah. So you see, when we split it, the directory that we were in was in this directory, like noted as follows. So as you can see, this is what's in there. So if we do alias, you'll see the same thing. So if you do alias -l, you see the same content you see here. Yeah, so if you want to host like a file on the network, but then you can just do that, because you can actually go into each of these files and you say, look at that. Registration, yeah, so there's a list. I think it's going to try to download it. So basically, if you're on the same network or if you are tunneling, so one of the things that you can do, if you have SSH tunneling, you can actually put something through that tunnel, wherever you are, and then from that tunnel just move around in your file directory. Yeah, so that's a pretty useful alias. So close over that. We'll just end it. So I just press Control C to end it, and you can see that's the directory we were at. So let's go back to desktop. Just make use of the all right. So let's have a look. So for example, I'll show you some interesting stuff. For example, if you go ifconfig, so this is not this is an actual command. So it would be nice if we just make an alias for it, but I like ifconfig. So if I do ifconfig, we'll have a look at the IP addresses. So you see, these are all the IP addresses. This is the server that we were trying to get to from the browser. Okay, so that's some Docker. If we run this VPN cron command, see, so it's a known alias. It will. Okay. Oh, that is interesting. I forgot that I needed to write a compound. We'll get to the compound commands. The compound commands actually allow you to run multiple set of commands in before you can actually like a set of commands. Let's have a look. The reason why this is not working because we should be in my user directory. So user directory is that. So here I think I need to where is that? I don't remember where that was. Where was it? Maybe it's here, I don't remember. I'll just run it in here, VPN con. Oh, that's right. I need to give it an argument because this expects an argument, right? So I'll just copy, I'll show you what I mean. So that expects an argument based. So home, so cat. Yeah, so this expected argument. So it's saying what argument do I need? So it's writing. Yeah, so it needs an argument. If it's 1, it will choose Japan. If it's 2, it will choose Netherlands, right? So I need to give that the option. So and then this is the helper function. So if the argument is H, it will give us the helper function. I'll show you what I mean. So if I do this and then I do -sh, it will give me the information. Connection list Japan and Netherlands, and then you help. Then using the connection command is like okay, yeah, something like that. So yeah, that's normal. So if I do this one, it will ask now try to connect. So it's connecting. Hopefully it will get us through. So it's connecting, so meaning that I'm connecting to Japan, I think. Yeah, so Japan is number 1 and Netherlands number 2. So we can have a look at how if that's coming through, because it should create a tunnel interface. If not, maybe it's having problems. Let's try Netherlands. So Netherlands is number 2. Okay, it should create us an interface that will. Well, it's supposed to create an interface that will get us through, but maybe there's a problem. There's a problem. I don't know. Yeah, it could be a problem. Let me just. Here is a problem. Yeah, so it seems like there's a problem with my interface for some reason. No, this. Okay, so we can let's try net. What's the net commands that we have? Net. What was that? Oh, res net reset net. Okay, that's the alias reset net. We need a password because it runs on sudo. Service not found. Okay, that doesn't matter. Save config. Okay, we're still having issues with this thing. Yeah, well, we're always gonna have issues. Okay, so yeah, so I think we can skip that, but because once it connects, it will just give us an IP address in terms of the tunnel, and then it will connect us to that VPN. But that's how you connect via the command. So you can modify. Well, I can modify that command, but yeah, just you can think of ways to use this in terms of any VPN terminals that you might have inside your terminal, and then you want to run the client. Okay, so here's the utility tool that we used before. So for example, you can clear this, like you see, that's clear, and it's similar to the clear, so same, but you have shorter characters. So like I said, you have the compound commands. So your compound commands are these ones. So basically they are function calls. So for example, like sometimes I want to create a directory, right? So as you can see in the last script that we write in terms of this one, there's this argument here. This is these are shell arguments. So dollar sign zero is actually the name of the application. Dollar sign one is the first argument. You can add dollar sign 2, 3, 4, how many arguments you want to have. So just to receive it. So in this function, it's asking us. So I've coded make a folder. So this is what I just named it, make a folder. So it will create a folder with the name that we give it as the first argument, and then it will change to that directory. So for example, because we're here, you can see that we're at the home, and if you do pwd, we're at that home directory. But so if we want mf, this one, say green means that it's a command or an alias, and then we don't have to specify this other stuff. We just need to specify the name that we want. So YouTube folder alias, right? So this is gonna create the alias, create a folder, and then move us into that folder, and you will see that by when this changes, right? So let's run it. You see, now it's changed. We've created the folder and we moved in the folder, and then we're here. If you do pwd, we're in the folder that we created. So it's just one command, but it does two things. So you can think of other ways of doing it. If you have like something that you do a lot, so something that has multiple chains of commands that you want to run, maybe create a folder, change some files, come back to the desktop. So you can think of those stuff. So like for example, and then here's the next one. So we've created a folder, and we moved into the folder. Maybe now we want to create a file. So let's create a file. So I've noted it, create a file and then open Nano. So that's basically what the command is: create a file and open it in Nano, what that refers to. So easy to remember. And then, as you know, like what argument, what file name that you want to give it. So maybe it's like sample .txt, right? Because we want to create a file, and then we'll open it in Nano. So run it. Yeah, we're already in Nano. As you can see, we created a file number, and now we are in Nano. So we've actually run one command. We've run one command that does two things. Okay, so some text, and then we just Control X, and then we save it, and then exit to exit. And if we ls, we have sample text, and then if we cut, then we get the text that's in the file. Yep. So you can do the same with this as well. So this one is create a file and then open Sublime. So create a file and then Sublime, right? Auto-complete it, because we know that that's the only alias out there. And then maybe we can do sample 3.text, and now you see the file is now opening here. Hello. Then we press save, and then because this is GUI, it's not a lot of things that you need to worry about. So now if we come back here, you see that there's the text file, and if we add cat sample 3, you get hello. This is actually an ending character for Linux. So that's why you get that from Sublime. Okay, so this is sometimes I need to run the AI program. I have an AI program that I run on my computer, so it's just running that one. So sometimes I just call AI and it will run it. So other commands, so that one. Okay, so as you know, I already have a few Git projects. So I just run these alias just to update and fetch and get status of those. And then these are other ones. What I want to add. So basically, sometimes I just add all the files inside the directory that I'm working on, and then provide a commit message. So the commit message is whatever that commit is. So here it's got 3 commands. It's doing 3 things, and then pushing it through. So these are the get functions. Some network interface commands. So this is gonna reset. Sometimes I want to just do all of this. So this sleep tells it to rest for a while. Sometimes you need the hardware to like do some work, or the computer to do some work in terms of bringing down the interface. And then once there's enough time, then you can bring it up again. So this basically just resets this interface 1. So Ethernet 1 and reset. So that's why it's got So sometimes you need to give it some time to do some actions, and then it will reset some stuff. All right, so apt commands, so installation of apps and stuff like that. So for example, writing this whole thing is very costly. It can be very tiresome. So I just say SAO. SAO means just to update it. I don't need to wait for the yes thing to say yes, so I just say SAO, and then it already does everything for me. And instead of typing it out, you just say 1 2 3, and it should be okay. Okay, so yeah, like recently, because I'm having some connection problems. So some connection problems. I don't know if it's my router or my internet or something. But hopefully it will work out soon. Yeah. So okay, I think I just was fixing something on the other side. Yeah. So it's now connecting. So maybe we can run that. We might run that. What do you call? We might run that command, that the VPN command again. So that's the SAO doing that. Then you can do SAO-U. SAO-U just to upgrade everything. And then just to see the upgradable list or something. Then you can do Sala. So Sala. And in short form, you don't need to write the whole thing. So hopefully this thing is gonna finish soon. It's just reading through the list. All right. So some of that stuff, having issues there with that thing. But yeah, so if we do VPN, I will do it down here. VPN on first one. Yeah, so you can see. Okay, you see we have sequence, right? So if we go if config, and there we have the tunnel interface up. So if we kill that, then we don't have any more. We shouldn't have any tunnel interface. So tunnel interface is now gone. So very useful. A couple of ways you can do this. If you create a tunnel between you and something else, and then you're just pivoting through that tunnel, but you're pivoting through another VPN. Yeah, so that can be complicated, but yeah, you get what it means. So Sala, we do Sala. Yeah, so basically it's showing you all the packages that needs to be upgraded. Sala. Yeah, so you see here. You can see all the packages. I'm just zooming in, zooming out in terms of. Yeah, so okay, let's move on to the next one. All right. Okay, so some of these are some of the other things. So edit the source. So if you wanted to edit the the source file. If you wanted to add some source file, so you can just do sub source, means open the source file in Sublime, and then it should open it. Yeah, so you see this the source file, and then you can just open it, add, fix it, or do something with the source file and stuff like that. What is this? Okay, no, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's about how to source it and edit. So edit basically is just for Nano. Okay, so this one, sometimes you just want to go there and see what other sources are in there. So maybe edit. I know, like, weird, right? But I never changed it. So you see, it just tells you what's in the source directories. And then if you see, it's yeah. So if you just go back, back to home, right? So I also sometimes, so this is installing. So sometimes you don't need to type all of that. So you can just go sci nmap, right? And it just does everything for you. So no, you already said yes. So sci nmap means that you just install sudo apt-get install that one. So sudo s and apt-get and then install. I also have Flatpak, so I sometimes like to play with Flatpak. So I just run these alias for installing Flatpak. So Flatpak runs in containers. So that's a good thing about Flatpak. It's containerized, so meaning that it runs in its own container, and sometimes you don't really have direct access from an application that's running in Flat. Or you don't have access to the core system of the machine if you're running a Flatpak application. So that's why sometimes you might have problems like, oh, I put this directory here, why is this application not reading it? So you need to play around with some of those configuration files for Flatpak. So these are some of the machines I have. Usually these are for testing, and sometimes I don't want to write all of this. So I've already set up SSH keys for these ones. So meaning that it doesn't use passwords, it uses the keys. So if we go connect and then R3, hopefully that should be open. If not, yeah, so there's a problem there. But let's do connect to R2. Okay, so we're able to connect. So you see, it didn't ask us for a password because we already prepared the SSH keys for the machine I'm using to connect to that small. So that small Pi is a Raspberry Pi W. And then if you exit, so it just helps me to like shorter form connection. Maybe uptick and then press 1. So Pi Remo. Yeah, so this one is the pulse pod. Yeah, so this is so similar ways it's connecting because I set up the keys to pivot from the machine. So if someone was on the network and tried to brute force that, they wouldn't be able to brute force it because password login is disabled. So those are some good practice. So just okay, so config. So it's just doing some stuff, weird stuff. It's got some Docker images and stuff, and yeah, so it's just for testing. Some for security, some for application development. Okay, so here's an interesting alias. So if I just run this normally, it has a problem, right? So that's why I created this alias to fix that problem. So for example, if I go free cat, so sometimes I like drawing structure stuff. stuff, maybe a building or a floor plan. So I use CAD for that. So if I run it, you see the problem, right? So it's gonna run. So it's now running. You see, it's already distorted. You see, it distorted. Something wrong with the libraries or some system files that doesn't render the application properly. You see, all of it is just mangled out really bad. So I can't really do anything with that. So we see even this one, I really don't know what's going on behind it. So that alias was created to fix that problem. You see, even like I don't even know where the exit button is. So I just pressed it out of not knowing where I am. So I wrote an alias just to help me fix that problem. So if you go to CAD, and now you see that it's rendering quite well. You see, so useful. I also see you can see all the tasks. Now it's all really good. It wasn't like before, like even like you see, you can't even scroll down. Before it's like it went all wonky and stuff. So yeah, so that's one way to use alias, is to fix that. Okay, and so this one was, because sometimes I use images a lot, so I tend to I need a command to actually convert that image. Instead of like looking for an application, you can just run this command tool. So man convert. So yeah, so man is like manual for if you want to find out more about a program, you can just do that. And so convert between image formats. So this one is a converter, but I use it to flip stuff, like rotate. So I think let's have a look if it rotates this here. So it's a useful command for a lot of things. Yeah. So I think that's it. Yeah. So I also use these are Starship, just setting up the prompt loaders and stuff, and then also I think this is what is causing the problem when it finishes. So this is just loading the PK10. So but I think that's it about using aliases. So just to recap on how aliases are useful. I mean, one of them I used it to fix this problem. So defining it Qt. So it's a Qt application, but there's a problem that it has in terms of the library and the system structure, and it cannot find something. So you need to just pivot of that, and then it's just like a fix. So just added it into an alias to help me fix that, so that I can run that application. So these ones are just quick commands just to connect to these three computers. And then the Flatpak ones, and then installation. So just type sci, and then sci that thing. So it means install that application. So you just sci it. Sci nmap, sci and notepad, whatever else, just sci it all. So sometimes, and then you do sell, just sell the stuff, needs to update it. So some cool words, but easy to remember. So all of this, so you can program your Git functions and stuff. Like if you do this a lot, so I do this a lot, so I just need this command because I don't want to type these three commands, so I just git cap those, that stuff. So I think that's about it in terms of aliases and how to better organize your command terminal in terms of what you do a lot and what you do that can save you some time. So cheers.